lot of y'all probably noticed that I haven't been on the internet like usual. And that reasoning is for a couple of different reasons, all good reasons, no bad reasons at all. So, I noticed something, which is why I haven't been on here. I've been pretty much focusing on this thing that I noticed. And then as I pondered it and sat and stayed out of the internet, or off the internet, out of, if you ask me. So the longer that I wasn't visualizing anything on the internet, and for the past few weeks I've only been visualizing what I want, everything around me started changing for the better. Now,
Manifestation, that shit is real. That shit is 100% real. For real, for real. That shit is so real. Sorry, I'm fixing my mic. But church speaking facts. Hey, it's Sunday night. He's taking us to church.
when I say everything, I mean absolutely everything. Now, you know how people are always like, "Oh man, dude, how did my phone know that?" I was talking about this, and then it popped up on my phone. Now, I'm not trying to make a mockery of people who say that. I've had my own phone do it, 100%. Something you're talking about, it pops up on your phone. However you're feeling, that is the vibe of what is showed onto your
I don't mean to interrupt, but I spy Dave. Anyone else spy Dave?
phone. And, you know, a lot of people's like, man, the government's trying to do this. I used to think that too. I don't think that anymore. And the reason that I don't think that anymore is because I don't think that because it's just a thought. Now, I know that sounds kind of silly, but here's the thing. Thoughts are expressed through us with words. Now, you know how old folks say, you are who you hang around, okay? Well, if your ears and eyes are around 5 people who are always doing bad stuff and saying bad stuff, you are an equation of those 5 people you hang around. And that happens whether you realize it or not. Because at the end of the day, the world runs off energy.
He is legit speaking facts and taking us to church. Being a recovering addict, one of the things that they tell you to change is your people. If you want to get clean and you're still hanging around people that don't want to get clean, the chances of you getting clean are slim to none. You are the company you keep. He's straight facts right there, straight facts. And I know that doesn't go with what he's talking about right there, but it's just an even more example of how he's speaking facts.
You're around 5 people who are receptors for energy, and their energy is bad. If you're with them, your energy is going to be near the same as theirs, which is why you're hanging out with them. But it goes both ways. If you're around 5 receptors of energy who are all good, and you hang around them, yours is going to be good as well. Now, I know at this point you're probably like, dude, you're telling us something we already know. You can know that and not know the rest, though. That's what I'm getting at. It goes
Give it to us. Talk your shit. Give it to us.
way deep, dude. Way deep. So recently, when all this stuff, you know, all these unfortunate events happened in my life, obviously the vibe would have been a bad one, a stressful one, you know, a sad one, a depressing one, all that stuff, and it was. And it made me the same way. Now, my phone used to pop up the same vibe stuff. Well, when all this was going on, I had a bunch of people coming to me being like, oh man, you know, you're...
I just want to say really quick too, I'm loving that easy, mellow, healing music he's got playing in the background of this. I love it.
Mom this, and this, and your dad this, and da 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 da. I just kept wanting to talk about it. They were bringing these words of this energy into my area, and it was making me feel like that. Well, one day, a couple weeks ago, probably over a month now, I cut off my phone. I stopped answering everyone's calls. Everyone who wanted to talk about that stuff, I stopped talking to them. And I started hanging around good vibe people who actually talked about good stuff and wanted to do, things that were fun and, all this stuff. Now, keep in mind, at this point, I'm not really on my phone like that. Still really ain't. When I did pick my phone back up and went to go scroll like I regularly do, everything was different. It was all how to build this, how to pick this plant out of the woods. Here's what it's good for. Here's what you can't do. Here, like all this good vibe shit that you should know about the earth. Keep in mind, I didn't look none of this stuff up. I was just around people that were those kind of people. Good vibe, like medicine people, I guess. You could say that's the best terminology I can think of.
Kind of goes with what you're saying. The music's playing behind you. Yeah. Yeah.
The vibe of my iPhone was not altered because of me typing stuff in the search engine. It was altered because of what was going on around me. So once I realized this, I really, really started thinking, and I was like, bro, even the alphabet has sounds. If you pick up an instrument, like a G chord, a C chord, they all have different tones. Now, when you take the fact that each individual letter has a sound, and if you pick it up with an instrument, different chords are illustrated by letters of the alphabet. Back to sounds. So some of these sounds that are labeled by letters will make you be like, that song sounds great. Some tones that are illustrated by letters will make you go, Jesus Christ, turn that off. Also, take into consideration everything we were just talking about doesn't involve words or talking, just sounds and illustrations of letters. Now, let's take those individual letters and smash other letters together to make words. So let's take 2 4-letter words, love and evil. Now, listen to how you spell love and how clear and wavy it is. L-O-V-E. L-O-V-E. Love. Love. You can even say it into a microphone and look at the sound wave it makes, and it even looks cooler. Now let's do the other word. Evil. 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 See how it sounds? Evil. Evil. No matter how you say it, evil. Sounds like a drop-off. Evil. Now let's spell it. E-V-I-L. See how that's E-V-I-L. L-O-V-E. E-V-I-L. They're totally different. Look at terminology. Love and evil are hella different things. Anyways, just like they sound different when you take away everything else, what it means, everything, and just listen to the word. You can tell which word is good and which word is bad. Well, let me rephrase that. You can tell which word is positive and which one is negative. So if our whole world is made up of energy, what we say has energy, if letters have energy, and when you smash them together with other letters and you speak that energy on someone else, then that's going to have an effect. Now, think about electricity and energy. Now let's move over into our daily life. How about elections? Election? What do we know about our elections lately? Well, they're
Rigged as fuck.
damn sure electrifying. With all this positive and negative energy flying through the fucking universe around our Earth, well then yeah, that's gonna make our current time really fucking crazy, right? Okay, now
Yeah.
we're gonna get into the fact that taking these different letters and putting them together to make words is called spelling. Spell Oh yeah, we're gonna get there. Just hang on 1 minute. Now, look at these different figures in the elections, and what is the most common thing? You get a sign that says, vote for, and then whoever you're voting for, right? Have you actually looked at your sign? Like, actually looked at it? So, the last election, electrifying election, Biden won, right? Yeah, okay. So let's write what his, vote for me sign would say. Somewhere say, vote for Biden, right? Vote forbidden, vote forbidden, forbidden. And on the other end, you had vote for Trump, triumph, triumph, forbidden, triumph, forbidden. Okay, now you tell me, which spelling sounds better, triumph or forbidden? Now, for each of those characters, Trump and Biden, let's look at the action of what happened and what we visualized along the way. Well, I'll tell you this, way more people showed up for Trump, triumph. I seen hardly no one on the forbidden side. Go look it up. Show me one spot where there's more people on the forbidden side than there is on the triumph side.
Won't find it.
Who spoke better to people? Definitely triumph side. Who done things that were jaw-dropping in the sense of strictly humanity and destination? Trump. When have you ever seen another president walk into crazy-ass North Korea? Trump would have conversations with these other countries, like China and Russia, and he would broadcast about it, like, yeah, I talked to him, everything's good, yada, 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 whatever, okay. They don't even speak the same language. Okay, we'll get to that in a minute. But everyone respected everyone. Now, when you look on TV, now that Forbidden is in office, they don't want to talk to us no more. They make fun of us. They say, oh, hell no, America is brainwashed, right? Well, if there is some sort of opposite language that's hidden on top of regular common language, and the reason that no one ever figures it out is because there is sly language implemented every few years called slang. Sly language, slang. Well, then that means this is not something that's just figured out once. It's something that has to be kept up with over the years for all of eternity, because it's always changing. So let's think about Trump talking to these other countries. They obviously don't speak the same language. Think about the word language. Land gauge. Land gauge. So these people on different land across the world that don't speak the same language, how do they gauge each other's energy? Well, it's not going to be by the language they speak. It's not going to be by, not even their alphabet. China doesn't have a damn alphabet like us. Their shit looks like fucking, I don't know, something. So if these other lands can only gauge each other off of the energy and the vibe of that other land leader, then where does that leave you with visualization? And where does that lead you to a universal language? Something that is not letters that are sounded out, but something that is silently visualized. So you get a higher glimpse of life. Let's think about the word hieroglyphs. Hieroglyphs. Oh, what do you know? Something you observe in silence. What is it that people are still trying to figure out to this day? People have dedicated their lives and their careers to this, figuring out the symbolism of pyramids, hieroglyphs, a lot of other structures out there in the jungle and all these places. Why can't they figure it out? Because everyone's talking too much. They are reading a prompt. All of them are reading it. On the prompt is spelling. What they're doing is broadcasting spelling into the world. And that's why there's been terminology used lately by politicians such as Trump, where he's like, it's a witch hunt, W-I-T-C-H. Why? Because if you break everything down to vibe and energy, there's two sides. There's a positive side and a negative side. Nothing else matters. It's all about which, W-H-I-C-H, side are you going to choose? Which energy are you going to choose? Witch hunt. Now, think about that scenario and imagine if you couldn't see past this veil that is language, and you didn't know who was telling the truth and who was lying. What would you say? The sentence for that, if you were asking somebody, would be, which is which? That's fucking confusing. You know why it's confusing? Because your connection is fused with something negative. Confusing. Now, when you think about somebody who is confused about something for a long period of time, they tend to get angry, right? And then they start to, maybe blow up. What do they say when someone does that? Oh man, that guy blew a fuse. What, you don't think spelling can be casted to you and change your brain, your attitude, or anything like that? Okay? Why don't you ask the military why they use American music with spelling and sounds to torture terrorists? It's true. Read about it. So, if I speak good things and hang around good people, we're going back to the iPhone, and it pops up good things, and it keeps popping up good things as long as I got good shit and good energy going on around me, what does that tell you? That tells you whoever is running this graph, experiment, whatever it is, they can't be all the way bad. It has to be at least half good. Reason being, my life's getting better. It's showing me good stuff now that I'm around good energy. If the government or, whatever runs these iPhones was really out to get us, it would only show us only bad shit. Even if we had good folks, good energy, it's picking up whatever we're saying, it would still just be bad all the time. It's not. It's whatever is around you. And if you look at the other abilities on the iPhone, well, it's your calendar, it's a calculator,
Clock.
it lets you know your heart rate, how many steps you took, it lets you know how much time you spent on the screen, and there's a new social experiment, is what it seems like, that is letting you know where your energy's at, actually. What's on your social media. If you're being anti-social through social media, the opposite. You're not actually connected to what you're supposed to be connected to. You're connected and stuck in a worldwide web. You have entered the net, and your energy is now contained in this net that you entered, internet. Now, last thing, the logo on the iPhone. The iPhone, right? Alright. It is a depiction, it is a picture of an apple with a bite taken out of it. Now, I know there's a lot of videos, and even I've been one of those people who I'm like, yeah, look, Satanist, definitely the devil, definitely the devil. Well, put it this way. The story in the Bible of Adam and Eve with the bite out of the apple is spelled out for you to read about it. And said, you know, you're not supposed to eat the forbidden fruit, yada, 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 right? Okay. Well, if life is like this, and it's running off good energy, bad energy, and sometimes you not being able to tell the difference, and the fact that you have to go with your gut instinct, well, I'll tell you this, I can pick an apple off a tree, and I can hold it, and I can bite it, and it tastes good, and you feel good when you eat it, and it actually gives you a shit ton of energy. So, was God saying, don't eat that apple, it's good for you at all, it's forbidden? Or was he testing the creation of gut instinct? Could she tell, like, no, I definitely feels good to eat this. If the apple didn't get a bite taken out of it, that would mean his creation was just as perfect as him. The creation had to take a bite out of the apple to be perfectly imperfect, because the imperfection was not listening to the lie that he said, don't eat that, it's forbidden. Then was born the power of choice. Which power are you? Negative power or positive power?
Wow, okay, that was a very serious video. Very serious. And let me just say,
And you also be like, yep, he's on drugs.
let me just say that I agree with him. You know, I did some pretty bad things, some pretty negative things once upon a time, and everything around me was just negative. I mean, from the way I felt to the things that were happening to me. And then I made a choice, like you just said, I made a choice to get clean and change my life and live for the better, live more positive, do good things, better things. And it's been a rocky 7 years, but here I am, and I still try and push as much positivity and love as I can. I will defend myself if need be, but I try my hardest to push as much love as I can, because the world can never use enough love. Love is endless. Time is endless. Love is endless. Love doesn't die. It don't. Well, if you like this video, please leave a like, a comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.